Hey guys, it's Neil again from Heart of Texas Armory, and today I've got another red dot review for you guys, and the optic I'm going to be talking about today is the Holosun HS503GU. So this is another awesome little red dot from Holosun. They've got some of the best red dots on the market for the money. In particular, the 503 series is just an excellent little red dot. I've got a couple reviews of other versions of this red dot on my channel already, like the CU and the BU. But today I want to talk about the GU, which is what you see here. So the main difference is going to be the battery compartment. So on the GU here, you'll see that the battery compartment is just accessed here by this little side panel that is screwed in. It's a little screw-in panel here. So you unscrew that and you place your battery in there. So the BU and the CU and all the other optics that don't have the G in the name, they use a little side tray, which is also mounted from the side, but that actually requires a tool to access the battery compartment. So you need a little screwdriver to remove the two little screws, and also use that screwdriver or another tool to pry the battery compartment out. So it's a big advantage sometimes with this setup here, where you can access this in the field with no tools. It's not really going to make or break a deal for me, in my opinion, because the battery life on these are so good, but it is an improvement and easier to change batteries on the G models. So that is really the main difference. This optic here is going to be very similar to the BU, and the U in the name, what it stands for is the protected turret. So you can see the turrets here, the windage and elevation, and I'll rotate it around here, are protected by these little wings that are machined into the body of the optic. So these red dots are super durable, and there's really not much you can destroy on them. I mean, they're machined out of aircraft grade aluminum. They're very high quality, practically bomb proof. But your turrets are one of the weak points on any type of optic. So in a traditional red dot, if you had the caps off, even with the caps on, if you're running around with your gun and you bang into something and you hit those turrets, there's a good chance you can damage that turret, and you're going to lose the ability to adjust your optic. Whether you need to re-zero or you need to adjust it for long-range shots or something like that, you're going to lose the ability to do that. So that's a huge advantage, having these protected wings to protect those turrets. So that's definitely something to look into if you're interested in the 503 series from Holosun. I definitely suggest you look at particularly this one, because you do have the protected turrets, and then you also have the easy access battery compartment here on the side. But it is going to be, in all intents and practices, it's going to be basically the same thing as the other 503 optics. With the 503, you get two reticles. So you get a 2 MOA dot, and you also get the really awesome, in my opinion, 65 MOA circle and 2 MOA dot in the center. And you should see a pop-up of those reticles right now. And I really like having the ability to switch between the two. Normally I run with the 65 MOA circle and also a 2 MOA dot, but I do sometimes like to drop down just a 2 MOA dot just to have a clearer sight picture. So I like the ability where you can switch between the two. The size on this is also going to be a benefit. The 503 series is very compact. You should be seeing the specs pop up right now on the side of the screen here. Very small optic. It's going to be comparable with your aim points, the smallest red dots on the market. The weight is also very impressive at only 4.7 ounces, so it's very lightweight. It's just an excellent optic all the way around. It's going to have also, which is really nice, the motion sensor. So Holosun, most of their optics now have that motion sensing technology built into them, and it is definitely worth having. What that means is when you turn this optic on, you don't really have to ever turn it off unless you just really want to. The optic will basically go into a sleep mode after about 10 minutes of not sensing any movement. So if you set this in the corner somewhere, like in your bedroom, in the closet, after 10 minutes, it's going to power down. That way you conserve battery life. And then the instant you pick up the rifle or it senses any type of motion, the optic is instantaneously turned on. And it will turn on to the prior setting that you had. So whatever setting it was on, when it powered off into that sleep mode, it will turn right back to that setting, which is a nice feature as well. With that, you're going to prolong your battery life. Now, Holosun claims you're going to get about 20,000 battery hours with the 65 MOA circle and dot on power, intensity 7.6. And then up to 50,000 battery hours with just the 2 MOA dot. But with that motion sensing technology, you could even prolong that even further. But as y'all all know, batteries do have a shelf life, in addition to what they rate this optic as. So it's just a good practice to probably change your batteries every couple years, maybe every 2 years, something like that. Just get into a habit of changing the batteries. I mean, batteries are cheap, and that's not that big of a hassle to swap these out, every couple years. Another cool thing about this optic is its IP67 rating. What that means, the 6 stands for, it's basically dust proof. So, dust is not going to hurt this, dirt's not going to hurt this, nothing like that's going to harm this optic, which is nice. And then the 7 in that IP67, the 7 stands for the waterproof rating. So this thing is rated basically to survive up to 30 minutes at a 1 meter depth under full immersion. So if you drop this thing in a pool of 3 foot water, it is rated to continue to run without having no water get into the optic up to 30 minutes. That's what they tested at the factory. So that's definitely an excellent feature. And it also, these optics do have a lifetime warranty with them, which is also an excellent feature that a lot of people don't think about that, but Holosun does have a lifetime warranty. And they have good customer service as well. They have a phone number you call, which is in California, and you can actually talk to them. I mean, it's surprisingly good customer service for this company. So let's go ahead and get these bikini covers off. So you can see it comes with the bikini covers. They are marked Holosun, so that's a nice touch, and it lets you know which way to install these so it sits better on the optic. So let's go ahead and remove those, and we'll take a look at the optic here, and I'll spin it around so you can see. You've got the nice coating on the lens here, which will fight reflection. And you can see the lens is on a diagonal, and that is purposely done. That is to allow that LED emitter to bounce it back so it's centered on your eye. So that is not a flaw. I've had a couple people contact me about that, but that is normal, and that's designed that way. You can see here how it attaches to any Picatinny rail. You've got a little torque screw here. So that's where it attaches onto your Picatinny rail. And this is the high mount. There's also a low mount, so you can run it with a low mount as well. Now I'll show you that when we look at the box. So you can see here the optic is very well done. It's very robust. Everything on here is aluminum, including all the covers here for the caps. The only thing that's not aluminum is your electronics, the glass, and then this little rubberized section here for your buttons. So let's go ahead and turn this optic on. So to turn it on, you can push either of the buttons. So I'll just push the plus here, and the optic turns right on. Now, the reticle is probably going to be kind of blurry looking on here, so I will have a pop-up that you can be able to see the reticle better. But right now, I got the 65 MOA dot, and I think it's on power setting probably 6 here. There's a total of 12 intensity settings, so let's just kind of go down through them. So, it's now you're so low you can't even pick it up on the camera. But there are 12 total intensity settings. I never go above really 6 or 7. 7 is extremely bright, but you can go way higher than that if you ever needed to. And the bottom 2 intensity settings are night vision compatible, which is nice. So you can see here I've got the 65 MOA circle and dot, and if you want to drop that and just go straight dot to MOA dot, you hold down the minus button. So hold down the minus button and you'll see there it goes. So you hold it down for 2 or 3 seconds and it drops the 65 MOA and just goes straight to MOA dot. If you want to turn this optic off, you can just push both buttons. So if you push both buttons at the same time, you turn the optic off. But again, and to turn it back on, you just push either one of the buttons. So you really don't have to turn this thing off because it does have that motion sensor that I talked about earlier, that it will power down after 10 minutes of inactivity. So I would just leave this thing on and don't worry about shutting it off. But you can if you want to. And there are certain situations that you might want to do that. But for the most part, you can just leave it on. And that's a great feature with these Holosuns. Some of the other red dots now are doing that, like SIG and I think a few others. But it's a great feature. But that's overall, man, this is such an excellent little red dot. I mean, for the money, they're hard to beat. Holosun just gives you a really good product for the money. I've never had a failure with these. I mean, they just work, and I've never had a customer complain about them. If you're interested in one of these, contact me at neil@heartoftexasarmory.com. You should be seeing my email pop up right now, and I'll give you a really good price on these. I get really good prices on this, and it'd be worth your time to contact me. Just email me, and I'll let you know what kind of price I can get you. I ship anywhere in the United States, so the shipping is $8, so it's pretty reasonable as well. But let me go ahead and get the optic out of the way here, and we'll take a look at what the box you get with the box here. So here's a look at the front of the box, and let me get my camera to focus just a little better for you guys. There we go. So there's the front of the box there. There's a look at your reticles, 2 MOA dot and the 65 MOA. We'll rotate it this way, and you'll see the information here. So we already talked about that. There's your battery life, motion sensor, memory function. So that just means whenever you turn it off, whenever you turn it back on, it remembers the last setting you were at. 10 regular settings and 2 night vision, so a total of 12 brightness settings here. It does come with the lower mount and the high mount, side battery compartment, which we already showed. Protected turrets, which we already talked about. It's waterproof and it's parallax free. So that's another thing I didn't talk about. These are parallax free or close to it. It's comparable with the best red dots on the market with parallax in regards to parallax. Here's that side of the box, and then nothing else that we need to show you. So we'll pull that little paper sleeve off, and we'll open up the box. And what you get with the Holosuns here's your manual, which we'll look at here. There is your low mount. So you do get that. In this slot here was the battery. So that's where your battery is stored. Here's a Torx tool to tighten it onto the Picatinny. And you also get a little silica packet, of course, and a cleaning cloth. And then also, you have your bikini covers as well that come with it. So now we'll look at the manual real briefly. So here's a look at the Holosun manual. And let me rotate the camera. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to get a little more vertical for you guys. All right, back here. So here's a look at the manual. So this is the front of the manual here. You can see the multi-reticle. There's their website. Little diagram of the optic. Some more information here talking about the features of it. You can pause if you want and read through that. Talking about the reticle here. Here's where it tells you how to change from the circle dot down to the 2 MOA dot, and holding down the minus button for 3 seconds. So it is 3 seconds. Here's your battery, which is a CR2032 lithium battery. Now they claim 10,000 battery hours there, but it's actually the 50,000 that's on the box. So that's just an old, I guess they just hadn't updated their manual for that for whatever reason. Here's a look at how to install the battery. So you can look here. Negative goes toward the optic. So positive side will be facing out. And there is a mark inside here in case you forget that. It shows a minus sign inside that housing, so you don't have to remember that. Tells you how to install, which is all pretty basic. Here's how to switch on the optic and switch off. So you can push either plus or minus, of course. To power off, push both buttons. Here's your brightness settings. You have 12 total, of course. Here's your sleep mode, what I was talking about, where the red dot will automatically enter sleep mode after 10 minutes of no movement. The site will instantaneously wake up or turn on with any motion detection to the last saved setting. So that's cool as well. Here is, we need to talk about that, a little diagram for zeroing. And nothing else that we need to probably talk about here. It's all just some maintenance. And here's your warranty. You can pause this if you want to read over any of that information. And that's a look at the manual here. Here's their email, warranty@holosun.com. And the phone number there for them, 909-594-2888. So we'll bring the optic back here real quick and I'll wrap this video up. But I do want to show you the sounds of the turrets. Holosun always does really good on these. So you can see you've got a screwdriver slot machined into the caps. And we will bring it up to the camera here and you can listen to the tactile and audible clicks. Very audible, very tactile, excellent. Holosuns always are good on that. And the clicks, just so you know, is half MOA adjustments per click. So, but overall, man, this is another home run from Holosun. It's one of my favorites that they offer. The G and the GU is an excellent upgrade going with that side-mounted easy access battery compartment. You know, if I had to pick between this and the BU, I'd probably pick the GU. You know, they're both excellent, but it is, in my opinion, better to go with this. But overall, what a wonderful optic. If you have any questions or comments on this optic, please contact me down below, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. Once again, this is Neil at Hard Texas Armory, and I'll catch you on the next one.